Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Toya Tillich, and I'm back with another video. I apologize for the last video I did of Kandi and the Gang. It was really scratchy, and the volume was really messed up at the time. I'm working on getting a microphone and better lighting for you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in anyway. I really appreciate that. So, this is the review of Kandi and the Gang, the second episode of season one. I forgot the title of this episode. I can't never remember the title. Wait. Rowdy Employee. Rowdy Employee and Uptight Managers. That's the title. Okay, so we're gonna hop right into it. Now we start this episode off with Philip and Tauron, where they last left off with the conversation, the confrontation, I'd rather say. Excuse my voice. I've been trying to get my voice back for days, but just bear with me here. So, Torin had to get his straightening, right? Because Philip came at him all kind of ways. So he wasn't going. He wasn't going for that. So he let Philip know straight up that he's back. And in the words of Candy's mouth, he's back. And if he got a problem with that, then he gonna have to take that up with Candy. Period. And like he said, he told Philip that look, it was nice meeting you. And you just like everybody said you was. You gonna have a lot more to prove than what you trying to do. And so when Torin got back into the restaurant, he sat down with Candy and had a meeting to let Candy know that he not feeling Philip. Philip fake and he ain't, he feel real disrespected. He feel like Philip treated him like a little boy when he been in this game for many, many years. And, he feel like he deserves some respect on his name, period. So, Candy, she went to go talk to Philip. And she was talking to Philip, asking him about what happened. And Philip told him that, Philip was like, that dude crazy. And I'm just like, you the one came at him crazy. You need to check yourself, Philip. I understand you trying to gain structure around the restaurant, which is understandable, you know, and I agree with that. But it's the way you coming at people. You coming at people real disrespectful to the point where, you're rubbing them wrong. You making them feel very offended. And so he told Candy that, he ain't here for Torin and his attitude. And if Torin wants to speak to someone, then he gonna have to speak to them because he don't want to talk to him basically. So Candy was like, "Look, you tripping now because I'm the boss, okay? I'm the HBIC up in here, and you're not gonna be telling me, you know, who I'm gonna have to be talking to if I put you in a position to talk to him, basically." And like she told him, like, we never had this problem before, so I don't want to have this problem now. So, Candy, she trying to set the record straight. So, now, uh, Torin and Patrick, we see them over at Patrick's apartment. And Patrick is basically trying to get Torin to decorate for him. And I don't understand why he won't let Safari do it if his girlfriend Safari is a decor and that's her passion. She spoke about that. So if that's her passion, why you won't support her? I'm pretty sure he supports her. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure Patrick supports her to the fullest with her passion and everything. But I just feel like that could be a perfect chance for her to motivate her creation. You know, I feel like he should let her, you know, do what she do and surprise him and probably surprise herself because after seeing the decor that she did and showed on the um, that they showed, I feel like she does do a good job. And if that's her passion, why not let her explore it? So he's trying to get Torn to help him with decorating around his place. And he basically want to create this sex room where he hang up all his sex toys and his whips and everything that he want to use on Safari, of course. And so I feel like that's very cool and creative. It's very sexy and it's very experienced. Okay. So I feel like that's fun. I think Patrick is a fun guy to be with. But Torin, he's like, he not feeling that picture. But now we go over to Chandrika and the rest of the crew at the restaurant. Dom is late for work, so they're looking for Dominique, wondering where she's at because no one is there to fix the drinks because Dominique is the bartender. So Brian and Chandrika, they asking him, where's Dom? So he's calling her. She says she's on the way. And Brian, he feels like that, Brandon, he lets Dominique basically come to work late whenever she wants to, because of course he got a thing for Dominique. And I'm just thinking in my head, Chandrika, when she was first introduced to us, she said that she's always late for work, you know. And Candy even said out her own mouth that Chandrika barely even she barely even show up whenever Chandrika was complaining about her pay. Talking about that she'll be getting paid better over there at Family Dollar. She should have went to Family Dollar. And Patrick let Candy know about that on last episode. And so Candy said that Chandrika, she should be the last one complaining. She barely even show up to work. So why is Chandrika now complaining about Dominique being late all the time? Like ain't that the kettle calling the kettle black or whatever they say? And so um Chandrika, she's asking Brandon about the schedule. She's like, who created the schedule? Who made the schedule? And he was like, I made the schedule. So she's like, what Dominique at? And she basically had a problem with her being late today. So now she's trying to be on her P's and Q's pretty much. When just a few days ago, you was doing what you wanted to do. You was supposed to be hosting when you was fighting through traffic. What happened to that? But now you trying to act out supervisor today. Girl, go sit down. And so Brandon, he's sitting on his ass eating instead of working because of course he's the manager. So he feels like he can sit at the bar and eat, but can't nobody else do it. So Philip, he asked Chandrika about how the day going, and Chandrika told him that look, the day is a wreck. And the bartender's late. Brandon, he's sitting at the bar eating. Ain't nobody doing what they supposed to do. She's basically acting like she's just always on her P's and Q's. And girl, today probably your first day actually trying to act professional. Like, come on now. Just a few minutes ago, you was the reason why the restaurant was getting bad reviews. So let's not put on. But anyways, so now we see Melvin, Patrick, and Torin. They all dapping it up. They having a drink and stuff. And I mean not Torin, but Patrick is reminding them about his housewarming and everything, inviting them over and stuff like that. And so everybody else they start to show up, and Chandrika she brought her boyfriend June. So Patrick he kind of feeling salty about that because him and June coming to find out they had an altercation back then, and Chandrika used to be his boo. So he like ain't nobody studying about January, June, whatever his name is. And so Dom, she minding her own business, but Torrin is still trying to get a sip of her Kool-Aid, right? He's still trying to get all in her business and find out what's happening with her and Brandon because they flirting or whatever. And so everybody peeping it out, but uh Dominique, she not really trying to tell everybody about Brandon right now because for one, it ain't their business, and she's correct about that. She's entitled to keep her business to herself if she wants to. And another thing is the fact that she don't really know if she's sure about Brandon. She's still feeling him out. So stop hassling her about who she's dating. That's annoying. And so now so Brian, he isn't drinking because he's recovering from, his past, of course. And he was very open about that. And so the next day they all bow their heads in prayer before they start their shifts. And I felt like, that was really cool. I liked it that. I felt like that was very thoughtful, and that's a good way to start the day, to set the energy off. And so Rashad, he's mingling with Brian. And Brian, he takes a seat at the bar, right? So Rashad tell him that he can't sit at the bar while he's on the clock. And Brian told him straight up, look, I'm just following the leader. Okay. Then y'all just see Brandon sitting at the bar on the clock, eating chicken wings. Okay. So I ain't blame Brian for real. Like, come on now. Y'all gonna have to start leading by example. Period. So Brandon he decided to put his big boy pants on and he walk up to Brian and tell him that you can't be eating at the bar while you can't be sitting at the bar while you on the clock or whatever. So Brian he made a little joke out of it or whatever, but he got up and started back working. But Brandon, I guess he felt the need to show his authority skills off to Philip or something. I don't know. But he decided to call a meeting with Brian, right? So he called Philip and Brian to the table with Don Juan and them. And explained to Brian that he don't like the way he took it as a joke that whenever he told him that he need to get up from the bar. So he felt like Brian wasn't taking him serious. So Philip was telling Brian that, look, you know, basically my issue with you is that you not doing what you supposed to do. You ain't doing nothing, basically. So Philip telling Brian that he fed up. And he was like, I done been in your shoes. And Brian stopped him right there. He was like, no, you ain't been in my shoes. Like, I'm a size 8. What size is you? So Brian checked them real quick. And I liked it there. I like how Brian checked them. I swear I liked it there. That was a good one. And so, not saying that I condone in disrespecting your manager or your supervisors or anything like that, because I don't. But The way Philip coming at Brian, he don't even know Brian. He have not even watched Brian work. You know, this Brian first day back. Like, how you gonna tell him he don't do nothing? When I mean, I've been seeing him do a lot. I've been seeing him take orders, give good customer service, even fix drinks whenever clearly he's explained to everybody about his past issues. And Brandon was sitting on his ass eating and made Brian go fix the drinks when he know Brian is in recovery and Brian don't want to be around it, smelling it, being attempted to want to drink it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like they're coming at Brian a little too hard. You know, that's why I feel the way I feel. But so Don Juan called Brian to the side and explained to him that he needs to slow his roll. He being a little too disrespectful towards his supervisor, towards his manager. And Brian told him straight up, like, how am I being disrespectful? He's being disrespectful to me. You have to earn respect to get it. How y'all expect me to give him respect when he's not giving respect? And I feel Brian. I feel where he's coming from because Philip was not giving respect. When Brian have not even crossed him in no negative way at all for anybody to feel like, they just had to pull him to the side and da da da. All that what they did, that just was too much to me. It was too much. Especially with that being Brian's first day back. I feel like Philip is slightly intimidated. I don't know, he might be strongly intimidated, but I definitely know he's slightly intimidated by the workers that have been there longer than him. They have been there from the start. And it don't make it right for him to, treat them like a pushover. That's not cool just because you have that authority. And so now Philip, him and Don Juan talking, and Don Juan basically feel the same way I do. Basically, like, you ain't nobody finna keep stopping they work just to comfort your complaints. Period. Nobody has time for that. We're running a business here, Philip. Like, you have too many issues and too many complaints with your employees. This could be handled at a later time. This could be handled during a meeting or something. Like, all this ain't gotta be handled right now. So I feel where Don Juan coming from, and so now Philip feel like Don Juan is part of the problem. But anywho, Patrick goes to body sculpting and of course to see his girlfriend Safari because that's who's servicing him with his sculpting, of course. And so he brings her flowers. So she tells him to sign in and um, actually I'm thinking about considering body sculpting. And I might just hit Safari up. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like it's a good idea. I feel like it's something healthy, a very good substitute for lipo. And I do, I'm interested in trying it out. So I'll see how they go. And I'm gonna keep her in mind just in case. So Patrick said Safari is like all the women he loves in his life, down from his grandma Bertha to Mama Joyce to Candy, everybody. And Patrick tells Safari that he's inviting his ex situationship, which is Chandrika, to the housewarming. And she quickly uninvited her, right? Okay, because we ain't having that. And I don't blame her. Like, we ain't having it. What she got to be invited for? I don't care if you work with her, if that's your coworker. I don't care. What do she have to be invited for? That's very unnecessary. And can cause confrontation. So he agreed and he uninvited her. And uh that's when now we see Chandrika showed up to the OLG to the what old lady gang is. And she showed up to go and showed them how to do water aerobics, right? So yeah, they all meet up and when they get in the pool, Mama Joy, she working out, okay? She feeling herself. And I'm just loving her energy, right? And Bertha and Aunt Nora, they not really feeling the water. Aunt Nora, she in the water, but she ain't really feeling it like that. Bertha, she straight got out the water. She was like, no, I put my feet in here, but that's as far as I'm going. This water cold. Y'all can catch me on another day. Deuces. Bertha wasn't going for that shit. And so that's when where I'm at now. Oh yeah, so then that's when they decided to take a break. Candy said she about ready for her chili dog. Okay. And so they over there eating and everything, and Dominique explained to them that Brian got suspended, and and Chandrika was telling them that she after the first run in she had with Philip, she ain't have no run in no more with him. And Mama Joyce, she was like, because you ain't did what you did the first time no more. That's why you ain't had no run in no more. And Chandrika was like, I ain't do nothing the first time. And Mama Joyce was like, keep it real. And I'm like, yeah, Chandrika, because I mean, honestly, the first time you brought that energy to Philip, that's why he ditched that energy back out at you. So, I mean, you can see how you want to see it, but baby girl, you was in the wrong the first time. Your first run in with Philip. I can't agree with that. And now Brian and Tauron, they meet up for ice cream. And Tauron and Brian, of course, they have a past. They explained it in the confessionals that they tugged and pulled. And they're really good friends. And so Tauren, he opens up to Brian and tells Brian that he's gonna always be there for him. Although, they kind of drifted off in the past and um, Brian kind of pushed Tauren away on account of his drug addiction and his alcohol addiction. So Brian explained to Tauren that during the pandemic, he started abusing drugs and alcohol extremely bad. And he felt like he was going through a domino effect. He started hearing voices, he started hallucinating every day. It was crazy. Like Brian really opened up. And I really appreciate Brian for the way he opened up because he didn't have to do that for this show. And he opened up to the fullest. And honestly, like seeing Brian, outside of his story, you wouldn't even expect, I mean, I wouldn't even expect, his testimony to be as strong, and his experience to be as traumatizing as it is. And so I just really I admire Brian and I really feel like he's a very strong person to be in his shoes. He's size 8 shoes to be exact. And so Brian also explained to Torrin how his sister, she committed the S word And my heart really goes out to Brian to actually witness the things that he witnessed and go through all of the pain and trauma that he has gone through and is still, recovering from. I feel like it's a lot, it's a lot for one person. So my heart really goes out to Brian. Shout out to Brian. And they talked, and the moment that they had was really cute. And I love their friendship. I really do. I love their friendship, and I hope that they keep it throughout this show. I hope that they don't let this show break them from, their bond. So, that was all for this episode, and I hope y'all enjoyed. We'll find out what happens next week on Candy and the Gang. Until then, thank y'all for listening. This is your girl Toya Tell It. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do so. And also hit that notification bell button so you know when I come through with more videos. Until next time, I hope y'all have a good night. Peace.